Arizona is, as you know, grappling with extreme heat. Extreme both in how hot it is, but also how long it's been as hot as it is. They didn't just break their record for more than 100-degree days. They blew past it. Nobody can even see the prior record anymore in the rearview mirror. Every single day of July has reached 110 degrees or hotter, demolishing the previous record. Most of those days were above 115 degrees, and most night the low stayed above 90 degrees, setting records on both fronts, both the high and the low. If you are lucky enough to live in a place where it never gets that hot, that is unacceptably hot. It should be clear that that is a temperature at which the human body cannot function after a certain point. People die, literally, their body just shuts down. Your heart stops working, your kidneys no longer get oxygen, your gut cells die, and your brain eventually shuts down as well. Heat stroke is a very real thing, and the average body temperature of a human necessary to trigger heat stroke is way lower than the temperatures that they're reaching. And this is not a hypothetical thing. The heat has already killed 39 people since April just in Maricopa County. One particular county, 39 people have died. More than 300 other deaths are still under investigation as potentially being related to heat. And it's gotten so bad, by the way, that in Phoenix, they've had to bring in new refrigerated storage containers to hold all of the bodies. This is an image that you might be familiar with from the pandemic. We have reached it again now with what we've been doing to the climate. But as bad as it is, and as demanding as it seems to be of some sort of response from government, the GOP, which is still obviously very powerful in Arizona, they don't think it's a big deal. Take a look at this.
I wanted to let you guys know that it is 110 degrees and we're not dying. I'm wearing a long sleeve black dress and I'm fine. Don't believe these people who are telling you lies. This is not excessive heat. This is normal heat for us in Arizona. Now, if you're not from here, you should have known this before moving here. You could always move back to where you came from, but we don't need any FEMA money. We're not in any crucial, dire need of any government assistance because of the heat. We are used to it. We knew what we were getting into, and we love it.
We love it. Well, some might love it. The ones who it killed, they don't love it. So my question to Janet Margarita would be, do the 39 people who died in Maricopa County just from this heat wave, do they love it? Like as a thought experiment, I want you to imagine, what would it look like if you were to create a stack of those bodies? If you were to literally pile them up as they are figuratively piling up in morgues, how big of a stack of people who are literally just killed by how hot it is in that place that you're saying it's perfectly fine, just go back where you're from or whatever if you don't like it. How big of a stack of dead Arizonans would that be? That's my question for Janet. It's also my question for Republicans in the state Senate. Arizona Senator Justine Wadsack, who tweeted, she's 100% correct. The weather's normal. If you can't stand the heat in Arizona, you're welcome to leave. Granted, you might leave in a body bag, but you are free to leave, I guess. That's the stance of the Republicans. The Kerry Lake War Room said that those who want a climate emergency to be declared are radical leftists. It turns out the majority of deaths can be attributed to the meth their policies allow to flow freely on our streets. Okay. Others in the Arizona State Senate just saying the weather's normal. Let's be clear. Like, take it up with the thermometer. Don't take it up with me. You blew past the record. It's not my weather that blew past the record. I mean, it's really bad here too. This is not something where the weather is about your feelings. The fact is people are dying. The fact is you blew past your record. Take it up with reality. Mondale, it feels terrible to see people literally like dropping dead in the streets. And you have people doing a don't look up on the temperature in Arizona.
I'm 100% confused that this woman. You mentioned these refrigerators that had to be sent in for more dead bodies and how that harkens back to the pandemic. We also know that her words sound just like the people that are telling people not to take the vaccine during the pandemic. Talking about she's dressed in all black and 110 is not hot. Really?
Yeah.
Because I think it's more than a human body temperature. It's too high of a fever to exist. Like this, you have to be dumb to believe that this is cool. This idea, she's probably standing in front of a fan blowing on her, and she probably took that dress off as soon as she finished that video and ran in the house and complained about how hot it is. This is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, by the way, this idea that you don't need federal money, well, send back that 1.2 billion you received from the Infrastructure Act that you already took. Tell Arizona to send that money back and wrap it up and send it to Enfield, North Carolina, where I'm mayor. We definitely need it. This is ridiculous. This is the talk that is downplaying. This is what I'm talking about. The idea that we don't have adults talking about the climate or policies when people will end up dying, or in this case, already died from a serious issue.
Yeah. By the way, you asked some hypotheticals. I'll ask hypotheticals, and I don't know. I honestly don't know if that individual is, for instance, a construction worker, or a roofer, or a road worker, or a UPS delivery driver, or a mail person, or someone who works in one of the many massive warehouses that are not air conditioned. It's entirely possible that she is. Maybe she works not in an air conditioned building, away from it. Maybe she does actually experience that. I would then say it is shocking that you have no empathy for the other people who are suffering under that. I would ask the hypothetical, are you familiar with what happened in Texas, where two people who were living in a trailer park literally baked to death? Their AC went out and they couldn't afford to repair it, and so both of them died. They were killed, cooked in their home because of what we've done to the climate. It is just shocking to me. Like, I'm not gonna say that going into the pandemic or whatever, I necessarily thought that everyone was always like prepared to be a part of the solution, but like going forward from now on, you're not allowed to make a zombie movie where you don't have at least one person filming a video in the streets denying that zombies exist as their neck is chewed on. Like, that is who we are as a people. There will always be someone who is saying, stop being bothered by the fact that you're dying. Like, you should be much more okay with the fact that the system we've set up is killing you. I don't understand humans anymore, Mondale, coming out of a few years in this career. I just don't get us anymore.
And you forgot one part, John. You should also enjoy it.
You should enjoy it. You should love it.
You should love it.
Yeah,
you should love
it.
That climate.
And if you don't love it, you should just move, which everyone can do. Everyone can afford to just uproot their life and their family and their career and just go someplace that is cooler. Where exactly that's supposed to be in America, since the entire country is baking, I don't know, and she didn't say. Anyway, apologies to the people of Arizona. I'm sorry for what your government is doing to you.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.